Hello, my name is Jacob Heschen. Yes, Heschen, it is a very German last name, and it was the worst last name to have in middle school. So if you look over here, it's spelled H-O-E. H-O-E, that spells ho, which was amazing. Could you imagine just walking around the halls of middle school and everybody's like, you know, your last name, it starts with ho, isn't that amazing? But I didn't have it that bad. My best friend in high school, his last name is Wacker. Matthew John Wacker. Which, could you imagine if he became like a guy who shoots up a school or something? Imagine the news prompt, Matthew Wacker kills 5 children. Wacker, right? Nobody would care. Typically, when you have a mass shooting like that, people are like, oh my god, we have to talk about guns in schools and how messed up kids are. But they'd be like, his last name's Wacker, that's fucking amazing. And that's just the funny thing about last names, and that's the really shitty thing about kids who make fun of people. So, a lot of comedians, they have a thing, right? Like a niche that they stick to that makes them more popular. Like Gabriel Iglesias, he's fat and Mexican, that's his thing, right? David Chappelle, he's angry and black, that's his thing. And so for me, I was just thinking about this, meditating like a monk, and I was like, hey, what's my thing? I have depression, which is an amazing thing to try to make jokes about. Can you imagine that? Even 30 years ago, somebody being like, I have depression, they'd be like, wee, lock them up. Also, think about this 30 years ago. So, you walk around an insane asylum, you got child rapists, murderers, guys like that, and then chronic masturbators, right? Guys who beat their meat too much are in the same place as people who kill people, which makes total sense. If I was born 30 years ago, there'd be hey, you tried to kill yourself, but most importantly, why do you touch your noodle? Why are you doing that? Are you trying to pleasure yourself? Are you trying to call Satan? I'm a proud believer in Satanism, but I do not think that's Satanism. And so, going through high school, I graduated high school, and a lot of people have this existential dread about leaving high school. Fuck yeah, I'm free, I can do whatever I want. Fuck yeah, I'm free. I can do whatever I want. And this got to me really bad because I've always been that guy, I need to find my job, I need to find my career, I need to know exactly what I want to do, and this just weighed on me, and this led to me being hospitalized, which is a great thing to make jokes about. And so, I went to all these hospitals and things like that, and they're just talking about, how you need to feel better about yourself, and how all your beauty is within. But then you look at yourself in the mirror, and you're like, yeah, I'm so fucking beautiful, but this is just the amazing thing, and nobody's talking about this. And a lot of people are talking about how we've made progressions in mental health, and I'm like, let's go back to that chronic masturbator. So we're talking 30 years ago, that is credit. Now I'm not locked up, they don't have me in a straitjacket, they're not feeding me strawberries through a tube, right? But still, we're not much better. There's still some stigma there, and it's still really hard for somebody to just come up and be like, I have the big sad, right? And I have this other thing called borderline personality disorder, and I had no idea what that was before. And when I first asked my mom, she's a social worker, so she knows a lot about different mental illnesses and things like that, and I asked my mom, I'm like, hey, what does borderline personality disorder really mean? And she's like, essentially, you're an asshole. And I'm like, so, I'm sitting in this psychiatrist's office, right, and he pulls out a booklet, and he's like, hey, in that really psychiatrist voice, I'm here, I'm soothing, I can help all your problems, right? He gives me this booklet, and he says, mark everything that you think is you. So I mark every single prompt on there, and he's like, you have borderline personality disorder. And I'm like, yes, that means every shitty thing I've said, every asshole thing I've done, I have proof, because I'm a certified asshole. Unfortunately, that's not what it means. It's basically I'm a chilled out version of bipolar. So imagine somebody with bipolar, but sitting in a coffee shop smoking a joint, so I go up and down, but not that much. So, it's pretty fun. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. Thank you.